And for a split second, I really tried. My brain said, I can be mad or I can just say, hey, let's move on. And then I commenced to punching the ceiling of my car. Welcome, everybody, to the Bob and Katie Show.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Bob. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Smell poop. Oh, I messed it up. That's not what I meant to say.
That's a horrible joke. That's a horrible joke.
Oh, man.
Do you want to try it again?
No, it's okay.
No,
I'm done.
It's over. The moment is gone. It was but a fleeting moment.
Well, this is what I've been trying to do, and obviously I need to work on it a little more.
Work on your delivery a little bit.
I went online and started looking up jokes.
Did you?
Like, that wasn't my joke, and obviously I didn't perform it correctly. Traditionally, dads tell bad jokes. So I've been trying to specifically look up jokes that are really cheesy, and that was going to be one of them. And that might be why I shouldn't be doing that.
Are you trying? Have you practiced these on the kids yet?
No, they can't talk. They can talk.
Oh, they can. They can, and they do. Especially the girl child.
I feel like for the sake of the people listening, I should actually tell the joke.
What? Okay, start over again.
Okay, not I can't do it.
Well, you're making me. Okay, you're making me laugh, and I don't even know what the punchline is.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Smell mop.
Smell mop. Who?
That's the joke. I like how fast you got it. That was awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I found a couple of jokes that I wanted to try out with you, and you can tell me if I should keep them in my bag of dad jokes.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So, here's one. Why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella?
Do you think by the time our kids are able to understand these jokes, they're going to be like, Snoop Dogg? Who is that?
Snoop
is that
Dogg.
That old
hey,
guy?
Look, Snoop Dogg has been relevant for 20 years. He'll be relevant for another couple years.
You think so?
Yeah.
He's got some staying power, huh?
So why does he carry an umbrella?
I do not know.
Faux drizzle.
Don't tell that joke again.
What? That's good. It's a good joke.
Faux drizzle. Faux drizzle.
Okay, you want some more?
I guess so.
All right, knock, knock.
Faux shizzle. Who's there?
No, you can't say faux shizzle. No, you messing the jokes up. Okay, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Control freak. Now, this is where you say control freak who.
Now, that one is the one you should tell again. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, Bob.
Okay, we'll do one more.
Faux shizzle.
No more faux shizzle
Sorry,
jokes.
I can't help it.
How does Jesus make tea?
Oh, don't make fun of Jesus.
I'm not making fun of Jesus. I'm telling a joke.
I don't know. How does Jesus make tea?
He brews it.
Oh my gosh.
You get it? You get it? Because
I get it.
Hebrew, you get it? He brews it because you brew tea.
I get it.
In other news, Bob can't tell jokes. I do have a complaint. It's been really hot outside.
That ain't my fault.
Really
you need to
hot.
talk to Jesus.
It's so hot, Jesus could be brewing tea outside. I tried to fix a glass of water. You ever turn the water on and you're like, I want hot water, I want cold water, and you know which way to turn it, but you're really not sure. You like, there's that doubt in your mind. You're like, am I supposed to turn it left or right? Well, it's kind of hard to figure out when the cold water comes out warm because of how hot it is outside.
Yeah.
The water coming out of our faucet is hot, whether you put it on hot or cold. That's how hot it is outside. Do you know how I know I'm not the only person that thinks it's really hot outside? The temperature and the things that it does to the earth has been making the news. Not just the normal, hey, it's going to be hot outside today, high of 95, low of 70. I'm talking about weird things that happen when it's hot outside. You did that really
nicely. You're like, high of...
Yeah, did you like that?
95, low of 75. Like, you should try to be a weatherman.
I don't know, because they got to tell jokes sometimes, too, and I don't want to be on live TV.
Yeah, but they always tell corny jokes, so you're okay. You just look them up on the
Those are the kind of jokes that I was messing up on. No, I seen it.
Smell poop. Faux shizzle.
I need to get this umbrella in case it drizzles.
I need this umbrella. Faux drizzle.
Well, I saw a video where this lady was walking through the streets, and I want to say it was India, maybe? And her feet were sticking to the roads because the roads were melting. That's how you know it's hot outside. When the roads...
That's pretty intense.
When the roads turn to liquid and start to leave.
Like, what about people... She was walking. What about people driving?
It's probably splattered all underneath the bottom of their car.
Oh my gosh.
You know how else I know it's hot outside? Other than when you open the door, you can't breathe?
How do you know?
There was a man in New York. I guess he had like a horse farm, and he had piles of horse poop because horses poop.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And they were bursting into flames because it was so hot outside.
Like laying on the ground, just poof, just like pyrotechnics. Like,
where does it go? Where does the poop go? We are 8 minutes into this podcast, and we have talked about poop for like 3 minutes. No, seriously, this is a real, true to life story. The guy.
How does that even happen?
I guess
it like exploded.
When I read,
it was like flames.
Oh wait! This is Bob O'Clock News.
Welcome to the Bob O'Clock News.
Yeah, he was piling it up. I don't know if he was going to use it for like fertilizer or whatever, but in the conditions that it was in, it was so hot it was drying out, and then it would go and catch on fire. And the neighbors down the street called and complained because the smell of burning poop was going in their windows.
Could you imagine being that guy's neighbors?
It's insane, right? Well, they had to
seriously, I could not even imagine.
They had to call the fire department, and it took them 4 hours to put the fire out. This combusting pile of horse manure.
Like, how intense was the fire of the horse poop that it took 4 hours with, I'm assuming, like a fire hose to put out?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, things fly through fire. Let me explain what I mean. When I was younger, I don't know if I've told you this story before. Chances are pretty good I've told you every story in my arsenal of stories. I had some friends over at my parents' house, and we were going to sleep out in the backyard. And we built a fire.
Camping. For shizzle.
I'm not going to spend this whole episode you making fun of me.
It's in my head now. I'm going to say it every chance I get. So you might as well just get used to it. Probably for like days. It's your fault.
Come on, you going to let me tell the story or not? We built this fire. And one of my friends, before I tell you about the things flying through the fire, I'm going to tell you the other part first. One of my friends was in a sleeping bag, and two-part story. He was sleeping on one side of the fire, and he was asleep. Well, the fire was starting to go down, and as a young child, I'm going to say child, because I was only like maybe 14, 15, instead of going, hey, I'm going to go get some wood to gradually build the fire back up, I just said, hey, my dad's gas can is right over there. I'm going to pour some gas on the fire.
Oh my gosh. No, you didn't.
Haven't I told you this before?
I don't know. I think you have. Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not really sure what happens next, but I think I've heard this story.
I go into this little, like, it's like a lean-to type of thing that we had like a building that had like a shed coming off of it. You know what I mean? And I go in there, and there's a small glass, like a mason jar, and I just pour the gasoline into it, and I was like, I'm going to walk up to the fire and just pour it on it. It's already a fire. And I'm just going to pour a glass of gasoline on it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I was smart enough to stand back a little bit. But what I didn't take into consideration was on the opposite side of this fire, there was another young child sleeping in a sleeping bag. And I threw the gasoline.
So what you're saying is you tried to catch your friend on fire?
No, not at all. I tried to build the fire up so that he was nice and toasty and warm and didn't die in the cold weather. I didn't throw the gasoline on him. I threw it directly into the fire. But what happened was when a mason jar full of gasoline hit the fire, it said, it went up like a small mushroom cloud, like when you dropped, like a nuclear bomb.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the child in the sleeping bag woke up 2 feet away from this fire and just, in his eyes, he looked up and there was a...
Could you imagine? That is terrifying. He was like, am I really awake right now or am I having a nightmare? That is so scary.
Well, I'm not going to tell you on the podcast his name. I'll tell you after we turn it off. And the reason is because...
Did he pee a little?
He peed in the sleeping bag trying to get out of it while the flames were going up in the air.
Poor thing. Oh my gosh.
Well, it was a little bit later that night, and this is where the whole things fly through the fire plays into it. He was asleep again, and we were like, hey, let's do it one more time.
Oh my god!
So he's already sleeping in a sleeping bag that he peed in once already tonight.
So he's already survived you throwing gasoline in his general direction across a lit fire one time.
So
you're like, let's do it again.
Let's do it again. I walk up to the fire, and this time I throw it, and I throw it kind of fast, and the gasoline went through the fire and landed right in front of him. Must have been like 7 inches away from his head and was on fire. And once again, he woke up screaming, and that scared me pretty bad, and we didn't do it anymore after that.
So, the moral of the story is, don't ever go camping with Bob.
Yeah. Why did I bring that up? Oh, the fire department in New York that was spraying the poop. When they were spraying it, it had to be flying out the other side. Like, I hope there wasn't other firemen on the other side of the fire trying to put it out. They're just like spraying. Like
getting poop splattered.
Yeah. Because you hear these conversations on TV or whatever, like when you flush your toilet, how fecal matter kind of like goes through the air, and that's just a toilet flush. The water coming out of those water hoses is way stronger.
Oh my gosh.
Than that water that's swirling around.
I'm sure
in the porcelain bowl.
His compost pile or whatever it was he was trying to accomplish was like demolished.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I want to switch gears real fast. And
you mean you don't want to talk about poop anymore?
No, I don't want to talk about poop. I want to talk about anger. Because I live a good... Why can't I say anger without you laughing at me?
Because I just... Okay,
well, let me ask you a question. Have you noticed that I've been a little different lately?
When you say different, do you mean like less angry?
No, I mean angry less often.
Sure.
Because I still have a volcano eruption type of feeling every now and then that I can't control.
But see, I know your secret. I know your secret now.
How do you mean?
One of the things you do to vent your frustration.
Okay.
I think I can't even look at you. So, what was it? A couple weeks ago, I was riding with you, and the kids.
Oh man, see, I'm gonna let you tell this story. I'm gonna let you tell this story.
I'm not telling your secrets.
But it's gonna kind of interfere with something I was gonna tell you about. But go ahead, tell your story, because it's good.
So the kids were staying at your parents' house. So it's just the two of us, and we were riding in your car.
My
car. I don't ever ride in your car. Your car, you drive your car to work.
Back and forth to work.
And we don't really go places, just the two of us very much. Mm-mm. We're always driving the truck. It's our family car. Your car is your car. So this was the first time I had ridden in your car in probably like over a year. And
because we have a clouder of people in our house.
It's like herding cats. That's what I say. Like, what's it like having twins? It's like trying to herd cats.
I've never heard you say that, but that is absolutely
like 1,000 times. You've never said it
to me, but that is the best representation of what it's like to have twins I've ever heard in my life.
How have you never? I've said that so many times. So, hey, I say it like every time we leave the house.
Before you finish the story about me being angry in the car, because everybody knows that's where it's going, what you said about the cats, that's amazing. There's a lot of people out there that we hear say this. We hear go, I'd like to have twins. No, you like the idea of having twins, but the actual having the twins part. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my kids. I wouldn't change it for anything, but it's difficult. And if you want to know what it's like, get in a room with 2 pissed off cats and try to make them...
Try to wrangle them.
It's try to get them together without them fighting, without them clawing you. Try to move them from one side of the room to the other.
My vision, what it's like having twins, it's like 1,000 cats. And you're trying to herd them like they're a herd of cattle.
Imagine 1,000 cats in our 2-bedroom apartment. You wouldn't even see the floor just be moving fur going.
I know. No.
There'd be one happy cat.
Not necessarily inside of our apartment.
It's like cat stacked on top of cats.
It smells so bad.
Oh, it'd be horrible. Katie, the cat lady.
I'm just like, I envision.
Oh, that's
like
our title for this week.
Cats. And you're trying to herd them. Like they're a herd of cattle, you know, you have to move the cat. And you're trying to herd the cats. And like, okay, let's all go together peacefully in this general direction. And sometimes you have stray ones, but that's with cows. You know, imagine trying to herd cats. Cats who have their very own idea of what they want to do. And you know,
that's
it's like herding cats.
That's why I'm a dog person. I don't dislike cats. We've had cats. I like cats, but
we are so far off topic.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're not wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I know I'm not.
You look at a dog, right, and you go, "Hey, boy, come here," and the dog, it wags its tail, it's happy, and it comes to you, and you play, and you throw a ball. You look at a cat, and you're like, "Here, kitty, kitty," and that cat looks at you, and it just goes, "Oh, fuck you. I'm not coming to you." Like, that's what happens. And I'm not saying our children are walking around the house acting like that. I'm just saying it's difficult. They have been screaming at you a lot lately.
You know, when you go, "Hey, Reagan or Riley, take your break. Come here, let me change your diaper." And they go, "No." And they turn around and walk the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. And usually I'm already seated with diapering supplies or changing of clothes or whatever the situation calls for. I'm usually already seated and I'm like, "Okay, come here." No. And then they run away to a different room and then proceed to like destroy something. That's my life. That's my life right there. They're just like, "No, I'm never going to do anything you want me to do ever again."
Life.
But back to you and your car.
So we're in Myrtle Beach driving in the car.
We're riding along and you're like
we went to Myrtle before we get there. I just want to tell you how sad our lives are. We had an opportunity to have the day away from the kids, and we drove to Myrtle Beach to look for Pokemon. That's what happened.
Why you gotta go and make us all look all pathetic and stuff?
It ain't pathetic. We had a great day.
We did. We had so much fun.
Okay,
so much fun. Anyway, we're driving along, and you're like, "See these dents up here in the roof of my car?" I was like, "I didn't notice them before now, but yes, I see these dents." And you're just like, "That's where I punch. That's where I punch it." That's where I punch it.
The car. I punched the roof of the car. You don't understand. I have a stressful job. I love my job. I do, but it can get very stressful. And the reason that it gets stressful is because I care about it. I'm passionate about my job and I care and I get frustrated. But also one thing about my job is I have to be professional. And it's hard for me to do that when I have all this anger inside. Mm-hmm. And I'm passionate and I'm angry. And sometimes when you let the passion and the anger come forth, people just go, "That guy's a jerk." And that's really not the case. I'm really not a jerk. I
don't know if all those dents were caused from your work. I'm sure a few of them were stupid drivers.
No. I'm not saying that the work. I'm just saying by the time I get in my car and I'm headed home and the drivers do something stupid, and I go, "Nobody can see me now." Well, people can see me.
How many people in traffic has seen...
Well, I'm going to get to that because that's a story I was going to bring up.
That crazy guy's punching the roof of his car. Is he having a seizure? Should we call for help?
Somebody did see me doing that, and that's a story I was actually going to get to before you stole my thunder. But I get to my car after a long day of stressful work, and sometimes I can't make it any longer. Now, here's the thing. It may sound crazy.
Do you think someone else is listening to this right now and going,
I punched my car too.
I punched the roof of my car also, Bob. You're not alone.
You know, the
first step is admitting there's a problem.
We had an episode a long time ago where we talked about getting rid of the Escape. And you know, when they're detailing that car, so we traded it in, they were like, how did this dent get in the emblem of the steering wheel? It's about the size of a knuckle. All right.
No, I'm sure somebody looked at it and was like, yep, that dude punched the steering wheel.
I want to tell you why I brought up the anger subject.
Speaking of punching steering wheels, you know my very first car I ever had?
Sunny, right?
Yeah, I was...
The white one.
We were in the parking lot about to leave the Ark one night.
I was there?
Well, I don't know if you were there.
Okay.
Anyway, I was standing outside. I was standing outside the car talking with somebody, and my sister had come with me. And my sister...
I was probably there.
My sister was sitting in the driver's seat of the car just waiting on me to come so we could leave. And she got mad at me because she got tired of waiting for me standing there and finish my conversation.
Well, I don't think that's why she got mad. She probably got mad because she was already mad.
Yeah.
And this just probably didn't help. And that's why I punched the roof of the car. But it wasn't because that particular instance made me mad. It was because I was already mad and this was like enough.
Pushed you over that.
Okay, so go ahead. She's in the driver's seat.
She punched the steering wheel of my car. Mm-hmm. And then on the way home, every time I made a turn, my horn said, honk!
No way.
Yes, like when she punched it, it messed up the horn. So I get home that night, and I get home, it was late, you know. I get in, we go to bed, a few hours pass, and it's like 2:00 in the morning, and my horn starts just going off.
No way.
And I didn't know about it until the next morning. I get up the next morning, and my dad's just like, I had to disconnect the horn in your car. And I was like, what? Why? He's like, it started going off at like 2:00 this morning and it wouldn't stop. So he had to go disconnect it. All because she punched it until like my horn never worked again. Yeah.
Well, that seems safe and logical. But you did grow up in Leland, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, driving home that night, it was the funniest thing. Yeah, every time, I'm sure. And you know, I was driving through Wilmington. There's traffic and stuff. Even late at night, every time I turned, it just said, oh!
People were probably so mad at you.
People were probably like, who does she think she's honking at?
Every time you turn the horn and honk, somebody's punching their ceiling in the car. All right, we gotta go. We are bouncing all over the place. I want to tell you what happened. I've been listening to the Mike Herrera Hour. And he had an episode the other day that was talking about Zen. And before I get into this, I just want everybody to know I have not researched Zen. I don't know how it works. All I know is I listen to one dude's podcast. And now I think I know it all. And that's how the world works, right? You hear one thing, one person talk about it, and you go,
I Googled it, so I'm practically an expert.
That must be true. Well, this is what I'm telling you. I've never done anything except listen to this one person's show about it. And he could be a Zen master or he could just be somebody talking about it. I've been listening to his music for a really long time. I don't think he's a Zen master, but I'm just going to go with it anyways. Well, he starts talking about Zen and how
Mike
it works.
Herrera is?
Mike Herrera, yeah. Oh. Well, he plays a clip of the Joe Rogan Experience, which is another podcast where Joe was talking to Russell Brand, and he was talking about how Zen sort of works.
So let me make sure I'm following you here. We are talking about, on our podcast right now, we are talking about another podcast who was talking about someone else on his podcast who was talking to somebody else on their podcast.
Yeah. Can you follow me? You good with that?
I think so.
You got it? Fantastic.
I think so.
Well, when he said it, I was like, wow. And I'm going to tell you what he said. He was like, this is sort of how Zen works. When you get angry, you actually have a choice to be angry or not to be angry. And when I first heard that, I was like, I don't have that choice. When something happens,
no,
I'm angry.
I don't think it works that way at all.
I'm angry. And the reason I was going to play the clip of the other podcast playing a clip of the other podcast, but the reason we didn't is because I don't know if anybody's ever listened to Russell Brand. Every other word that comes out of his mouth is foul, so the editing I would have to do would just make it sound like gibberish. But this is basically what he says. He flies a lot, right? He's a comedian. He travels. He goes, when I land somewhere and they lose my luggage, I could either be a jerk and angry, or I could go, hey, there's really nothing I can do about it. Let's just work it out. It's very simplistic and it sounds amazing, but I found out shortly after it doesn't work that way. And this is how I know. I tried to use Zen and it didn't work. It's something
you still punched your card.
It's something you have to work at and you have to practice. And I've done it a whole bunch. I've been trying. I've really been trying and I'm getting better. But at first it doesn't work. I pulled out of work. So I'm already I've been stressed out mode all day.
You're not in Zen mode.
And this is the one thing that I hate about drivers. The worst thing. Do not follow me extremely close. There's no sense in that. I hate it. I can't stand it because now I'm worried about where I'm going and I'm worried about whether or not you're going to hit me if I have to slam on the brakes. Well, this guy was following me way too close through Myrtle Beach and I was getting aggravated. And then a car pulled out in front of me, which made me slam on brakes. And the car behind me almost hit me. Now, the guy that pulled out in front of me 15 feet in front of another car that slams on brakes. And now we're stopped in the middle of the road and apparently there was a wreck. My face is red. And for a split second, I really tried. My brain said, I can be mad or I can just say, hey, let's move on. And then I commenced to punching the ceiling of my car. I think I hit it probably 3 times, just bam, bam, bam. Like, when I punch the car, I don't say anything. I don't yell. I was looking forward. I still have my eyes on the road, which we weren't moving. Traffic is stopped now. And I'm just punching the ceiling. And then I grab the steering wheel with both hands. And you ever have that feeling that somebody's watching you?
Yeah.
So I look.
Was there like a small child's face pressed against the window? Like,
no,
mommy, that's a bad man.
I look. It's worse than that. I look to the left, and there's this like beige colored Crown Victorian car with 2 old people, and there's like the old man, and he's sitting up real close to the wheel. And he's not looking at me. He's looking at the road. But who I'm presuming is his wife of 60 years, because she looks 85, is staring at me. Bright-eyed. And when I make eye contact with her, she doesn't look away. But her window was down and it slowly just like so
oh, you scared that poor little old lady.
So I turned back straight and I said out loud to myself, I really got to work on this Zen thing. But that was my story. And I encourage everybody to give it a try. It's not easy. And I've been doing it for, I think we're about 2 weeks now. And I've actually done it a couple times. I went, hey, you can be cool. You can make the decision to just go, you know what, that sucks, but I'm not going to let it ruin, the next hour of my life. Sometimes it doesn't work. And sometimes you scare little old ladies in traffic, but then sometimes it does work and you feel a victory, I don't know. What do you want? I'm trying to get better. And I hope that I can get a lot better before my kids start realizing what's going on.
I know, like, we have to really, really start watching ourselves around the kids because you were with me. We're all 4 of us. We were in the car. I did a no-no. I was driving. We were out on the highway and this car, I don't even remember. They were like following me really close and then they go to pass me. And instead of passing me, they just like ride right beside me for a long time. And like they were like not right up beside me, but they were like kind of at the back of our car, where like I couldn't get over. You know what I mean? But their lights were shining in my eyes because it was dark. And I started getting really, really frustrated. I tried like speeding up a little bit and then like stayed with me. And then I tried slowing down a little bit. They stayed with me and it took them forever to go around. And when they finally went past us, I saw it was a lady and she was on her phone.
Oh, that's the worst, isn't it?
Like, not talking on her phone, like playing on
Pokemon
her phone.
Go?
Like texting or something.
She's catching a Ghastly.
And I had already been like, oh, will you please just go around? So anyway, I was really frustrated by this point. By the time she finally passed me. And then I saw she was on her phone and I yelled and I said a bad word.
Yeah? I remember this. Okay. I wasn't sure where you were going with this story for a minute. I was like, I don't think that was me.
She needs to get off her darn phone. But I didn't say darn. Okay. Well, Reagan.
Mm-hmm. Here it goes, ladies and gentlemen.
Reagan is my mini-me. She thinks she needs to be everyone's mommy. And she has started, like, if I raise my voice, like, to get onto them, she yells back and points her finger. And she is just little miss. So she hears me yelling at this car. Mm-hmm. And she's in the backseat. And she is back there going, darn, 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 but not saying darn.
This is what happened. Katie said a statement very loudly that had 8 words. 8. And only one of those words was a word that you would not want your 22-month-old child to say. And that's the word she says. So Katie's mad and she yells it out. You need to get off your damn phone. And from the back seat we hear, damn. Like that.
Well, no, cause she was just yelling at first, Reagan. And she was probably pointing her finger. If I could have seen her, I bet she was going, and then it was, yeah. And then she just kept saying it.
It was quite good. Quite good.
And then we're both laughing, and I don't want her to hear me laugh because I don't want her to think it's funny and okay.
Oh yeah, the first time you laugh at a child doing something like that, they're going to do it over and over and over.
I'm trying to hold in my laugh, and like there's like tears coming out my eyes because I'm laughing so hard.
That's when you started singing the Bubble Guppy song to get her mind off of it. I remember that.
Yeah, you were like, you need to get her mind off of it. So they really like the Bubble Guppy song, so they'll sing it along with me. Yeah,
that's when Katie starts singing Bubble Guppies.
And so, yeah, I started singing Bubble Guppy songs so she would stop saying profane words.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes you slip as a parent, but you did real good and you pulled it back on track.
Oh, gosh. It was bound to happen sooner or later, I guess. I don't know. We were in Walmart tonight. We had to swing by Walmart and pick up a few things. One of the things we needed to get was diapers. So I'm in the aisle, the diaper aisle. And you had walked off to go get something. It was just me and the kids. And Riley starts, he's pointing at the diapers and screaming, it's a butt! 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 It's a butt! Because he knows diapers go on your butt.
Diapers, they do go on your butt. Yeah, he's a smart child.
And so, like, sometimes when he needs his diaper change, he'll come up to me and he'll say, butt.
Yeah.
Butt. So he's in the diaper aisle and he's screaming, it's a butt! And then at the same time, on the same shopping trip, I also had to buy feminine products, which I already had in the cart at this time. And Reagan...
For the audience members out there that doesn't know what feminine products are, she was buying, some people might call pads. I call them vagina Band-Aids. And that's because... When a young woman hits the age of 12, 13... we're not going to get into that? Okay, we'll keep going with your story.
Anyway, Reagan has the package, and she...
Of maxi pads.
She held on to them the whole time we were in the store, and she's standing up in the cart and just like...
waving them around.
Waving them. Like it's a flag. She's just waving them. And the store was like super packed.
So busy.
I don't know why. It was so busy in there tonight. And yeah, she's just... waving them around. So I have one child waving feminine products and my other child is yelling, it's a butt!
Like the only thing that could have made that story better is if the package of pads rips open and they fly while she's yelling, damn, damn, damn. That would have been the only way that story did any better.
Oh, no.
And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you like our banter about poop, tampons, feminine hosiery, or whatever you want to call that thing that you guys go through, and you would like us to keep doing that, you can go to our Facebook page, The Bob and Katie Show, and pinned up at the top, there's a link to patreon.com where you can help support this show by simply donating $1 or $1 million or anywhere in between. Okay, where do you want to go from here? I thought that was a good spot. Why not? We also have Twitter, Instagram. I've been contemplating MySpace, but I just don't have time in my life for that kind of nonsense.
Snapchat.
Oh yeah, that's my new favorite thing. Like I'm on Snapchat every day, I think. And like, I mean it. Like, I like Snapchat. Facebook makes me angry, but I know it's like one of the best ways to reach everybody. Yeah. And I want you guys to be able to talk to us. So
Speaking of Facebook, I will take a moment and plug myself.
Okay.
I just recently created a Facebook page for Katie McKnight Photography. So if anyone wants to check it out, you are more than welcome to go right on the Facebook and search Katie McKnight Photography, like my page, whatever. Yeah, anyway, it's there. There's not really a whole lot of photos. I've only put a couple photos from like a couple recent sessions. I didn't want to go back and put like older work. I just figured, I started it and I will just, put photos on there.
They're really good though. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, speaking of Facebook, I got to tell you something else that happened tonight. You sort of know about it already, but I want to tell you how it spawned. I've brought this up before. I'm in a group of podcasters on Facebook, and we help each other with different tips and tricks and, things like that. Well, tonight I simply put a picture up, and I actually did it on my personal page too, of I was listening to Brand New, a song by Brand New. I always put headphones on and listen to music while I set up just to kind of like get the fluids going, And I put that on that group. I was like, hey, before a show, I like to play some music and, just kind of loosen up. What do you guys like to do? And this one guy responded, and I thought it was quite intriguing, and I wanted to read it to you.
Okay, what does he do?
Well, his name is Joseph Fanning, and he says, I start drinking beer about an hour and a half before I record. I read that and I went, okay, I get it. You want to be loose. Followed by, and for some reason, and for some reason, I always dry heave right before I start.
What?
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I was like, my thought was, what the hell is this podcast about that he's recording that he dry heaves before he starts doing it?
Ritualistically, all right, it's showtime.
Now, here's the thing.
Do you think that's a typo or is he's really gagging?
Oh no, I asked him. Because I immediately was like, hey,
are you nervous?
I was like, is it going to make you upset if I talk about this? Because I want to. Because this had my attention. The only time, there's a few points in life where someone has your complete attention. That was one of them. Another time would be if someone starts choking you, at that point, that person has your complete attention. Well, when he told me that he was going to record a podcast and shortly before he starts to drive.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Now, if you're going to go out on stage for 1,000 people, I get it. You get nervous. You get sick. That happens. But theoretically, or for most podcasts, it's intimate. We're doing it in our dining room. It's just two of us. You shouldn't get that nervous. And I don't know that he's getting nervous. Maybe he just works himself up, But I was like, I really want to listen to this guy's show. Cause it's so intense that before it happens, he goes, Joseph, because you allowed me to kind of joke at your expense, I'm going to let everybody else know what your show is. And I'm also going to give you some criticism real fast. I don't know how to pronounce the name of your show. I'm a simple man from the South, and you used a pretty big word, so I'm going to do the best I can. I tried to be smart and go, hey, I'm going to just play an episode real fast, because a lot of people say the names of their episodes at the beginning, but you didn't do that. But if you guys want to check it out, you can go to...
So do you hear him dry heave on the beginning of every episode?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think he was just telling me he does it. Before he starts recording. Okay. You know what? Joseph,
so now,
you should start.
If anyone listens to this, they're going to, at the beginning, be like, he just dry heaved.
Yeah, he just threw up in his mouth just a little bit. You should start recording that, Joseph. Just record the dry heave process and throw that on the beginning.
Hi, I'm Joseph.
And then say the name of your show so we all can get the title. But no, it's www.potentiumpodcast.com. Does that look like it says Potentium? That's a big word.
To me, it looks like it could be potentium, like
potentium,
potential, but potentium.
Okay. You think it's a made up word?
I don't know.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get a pen real fast. So pause the episode if you need to. Okay, you got your pen?
The ice maker's about to dump ice out.
One day, we're going to have enough money to buy a house with a room for us to record in.
Hey, just be thankful we have an ice maker. We've already moved up. We don't have to have ice trays anymore. We have an ice maker. Why? Just be thankful, okay?
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm going to continue recording my podcast.
Glass half full, Bob.
Loud. You got me. You're absolutely. You know what? I'm going to wait. It sounds like it's gurgling water. Okay, guys and gals, sorry about that. We are back. We had to take a quick break while our ice machine decided to get through its rant. And if you have those pins I was talking about earlier, the website is www, and I'm saying that because he wrote www, POTENTIUM podcast.com. Go find out why he is so upset or nervous or weird. Either way.
But does he discuss why he's dry heaving?
No, it happened like right before I don't know that he dry heaved tonight. All I know is that this conversation happened right before we started recording.
Well, you said go find out why he's like nervous.
What? I'm just saying they could listen to a show and go, is this really intense or is this guy just weird? That's all.
All right, then.
Should we let him know that we kind of dry heave before the show?
Well, we don't.
We could pretend just so this guy doesn't...
Just to make him feel better?
Yeah. It's okay. Joseph, we dry heave too before the show starts. We both sit down in our chairs and just go... We take turns and one person dry heaves and the other person goes...
I don't really want to think about it because that makes my stomach feel like...
And that's why you dry heave, because I start dry heaving first and then you hear it and then you're like, well, I'm going to dry heave.
You and your brother do that thing where you think it's really funny... Like you both dry heave and it's so realistic sounding like you're really going to vomit.
Well, we think it's funny because of your face.
Because like it really grosses me out. It makes me feel like I'm going to vomit.
Now we got to wrap up the show soon. And I have a topic that I wanted to tell you about. And I think it could take up some time, but it might not. And I think I'm going to go ahead and share it with you anyways.
Go for it. Faux shizzle.
Well,
I got you.
It's a drizzle. It's a faux drizzle. That's why he
has... Faux shizzle, my drizzle.
That's why he has the umbrella. We're losing listeners right now.
No.
I'm lost. You did it to me.
I don't know.
You made me lose.
You were going to tell me something.
About what? What was I going to tell you about?
We were talking about dry heaving and vomiting a minute ago.
I was having a conversation with some coworkers and,
did you dry heave before this conversation?
No, not before the conversation, no. I got close to dry heaving at the end of the conversation.
That good, huh?
A conversation came up about boogers. And then somebody...
This is the things you talk about at work.
Yep.
Boogers.
That's why I'm so stressed out when I leave and punch the ceiling of my car. Because I had a hard day of talking about boogers. No, seriously though. Someone tried to make a joke and said something to the effect of, what do you got, a booger fetish? And then my brain said, I wonder if that's a real thing.
Ew.
Well, I'm here to tell you that's a real thing.
Ew.
And I know that.
That makes me want to dry heave.
I know that because I got on Google.
So you're practically an expert now.
Yeah, absolutely. I about said Boogle. I got on Google. No, I got on Google and Googled booger fetish. And I wanted to share with you this website that I found.
It's like Booger Fetish Anonymous?
But no, it's not anonymous. All you got to do is Google booger fetish and it will pop right up.
Like, I really, it's making me...
Now, I'm not coming down on anybody about the things that they're into. And who knows? You know, we got a lot of people that listen to our show
I don't have a problem with boogers per se. It's like the eating of the boogers.
The picking's fine. Having on your finger, that's okay. Just don't put it back in your mouth. That's all we're asking. No, seriously though, if you're into booger fetishes, more power to you. Just, not in front of me. That's all I'm asking. But if you're into it, you can go to boogerdomination.com.
Oh my goodness.
So when I saw the website, I was hesitant to click on it.
Were you scared of what you were going to see?
No.
Is there like photos of like people picking their boogers?
No, I was just like, oh, well, this is strange. So I'm on my lunch break, and I'm like, I'm gonna see if this is a real thing. And I'm sitting in my car. I'm not punching the ceiling, you know. I do have the air conditioner on because it's 187,000 degrees outside. Well, I clicked the website. I was nervous about it because I was like, I don't know if this is like a porn site or, you know.
Oh my gosh.
It actually, I scrolled down and there's not one naked person on the page. But there are videos, and I'm not going to make you watch any of them. But there was
I really don't think I want to watch any video on boogerdomination.com.
There was this one video, and I read the synopsis. I didn't watch the video. But this is what the description was. It was like, Princess Jenny just wants to eat her breakfast.
Oh, no.
She's not talking about her boogers. She's legitimately talking about her breakfast. She just wants to eat her breakfast, but her nose just keeps running because she doesn't feel well. Well, you're just a loser, so you get to eat the tissues. Can you put that face into words so our listeners can enjoy it?
No,
That's a real thing. That is a real thing. To like, do you understand what that means?
My stomach's like, oh my god, that's disgusting.
There's an adult thing.
I don't want to eat a tissue
that's dry.
that doesn't have anything on it that grosses me out.
Just
like the thought
tissue.
of like tissue in my mouth. But even more so, tissue that has boogers on it.
You know what the thought. We're skipping again. Whatever. I don't care. At this point, who cares? The thought of a dry,
willy-nilly like.
The thought of a dry tissue in your mouth kind of makes me think about. We just got done tonight. We were watching Criminal Minds, and in this episode, this guy. If you don't know about this show, basically it's about murderers. This guy
it's about a team of FBI agents at the behavioral analysis.
Oh, I don't care about that part. I just care about the murderers. This guy is a woman captive. And he walks into like a little shed, and what he's done to her is he had her eyelids to where they wouldn't close.
They were stapled open, so she couldn't blink, and I felt like I needed to blink 1,000 times.
Imagine if you just couldn't blink.
Like, I've watched TV and movies and horror movies and things, you know, where people, you know, like just bad things happening to people, but this by far I think was one of it made me cringe.
Just thinking about
so like my eyeballs being held open,
dry,
and like I felt like I instantaneously felt like my eyeballs were dry, and I was like I couldn't stop blinking, and it was horrible. And then he went to go put something in her eye, and I was like, oh my god,
So boogerdomination.com. We did have some questions from our listeners. But I regret to say that we've had such a good time on the show that we're running out of time. So we're going to save those for the next episode. And maybe we'll do like a bigger section next time with questions and whatnot. Because I'm sure we'll have a good amount. One more thing I wanted to say. We had a rather large response from the Back to Leland episode with my dad. A lot of people liked him a lot.
He's a cool guy.
He's a funny guy. Cool guy. So I'm going to let everybody know something that I'm working on. I am going to try to have us record another episode with him, but we're also going to try to get his brother Roger as well. I don't know if Roger listens to our show, but if he does, I just want you to know, Roger, we're coming after you. And we're going to get you on the show. And I think
Do you think he'll agree to it?
Yeah, I think he will. And it'll be a blast. You've heard him tell stories before.
Yeah.
Those two men are storytellers, and it's great.
They always have a story. Always. I love, like, when your whole family gets together, and I love to sit around and, like, hear them tell their stories of, like, you know, from growing up or whatever. They always have so many stories. And your Aunt Mona, too.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. We hope you had a great time. Make sure you check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
Patreon.com.
Patreon.
And give us your money. Don't make us beg.
Oh, we're going to beg. We're just going to keep begging. You know what? We'll just wait. Go ahead. We'll wait here. You done yet? Okay. And thebobandkatieshow.com. You can type the www or not, completely up to you. Remember, go out there, use Zen, and just make your life better. Don't forget, find your laugh.
Find your happy.